Yo, what's up guys, it's Trickies, and before I start the video I want to show you guys this quick clip. So if you remember, recently I uploaded a video on this guy named iFusion. I basically called him out for having a terrible video. So he actually uploaded an apology video, and we're gonna watch this real quick. He also unlisted the video that he originally had up for Darius, his round 50 guide. He unlisted the video and he released an apology video, so we can all forgive him, guys. Let's watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. About a year, maybe 2 years ago, I said something that was offensive, and it hurt a lot of people, and I didn't realize that at the time, and I just want to say that I'm massively sorry. Clearly, I wasn't thinking, and now it's time to come forward. It's time to actually speak the truth on what I said. During this gameplay, I didn't actually have Pack-a-Punch open.
So if you guys remember, a while back I made a video on Mr. T-Lex finding his top 5 hardest round 100s.
It is goddamn transit.
But recently I've been finding videos that are just as bad as the one he uploaded, if not even worse. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, guys. I'm going to be going over more hardest map lists, and I'm going to be pretty much telling you guys why these people are wrong. And at the end of the video, if you guys stick around long enough, I'm going to actually be putting a tier list out and going into detail about what the actual hardest maps are, so you guys will be able to have a proper opinion on some of these things. So first off, we're starting out with this guy's channel I found, and he made a video titled, "What is the hardest round 100 in zombies?" Yeah, basically he goes through and ranks every single zombies map from easiest to hardest based on how hard it is to get around 100 on the map. And this video is a complete atrocity, and let's just get into it because I mean, it's just terrible.
On is Revelations, taking up the number 34th place. This is mostly just because it has two of the most broken wonder weapons of all time, being the Thunder Gun and the Apothecary Servant. Now I understand that Die Rise being this low on my list might be a little bit controversial, but it truly belongs here. The map is one of the easiest round 100 strategies out of any map in the franchise, being that you literally can shoot one bullet per round. Also, I'm sure when you think of Easy COD Zombies map, one of the first ones to come into your mind is Ascension. This map has become an absolute staple for the casual zombies community, and for a good reason. It is one of the most wide open maps, with the only real challenge being the space monkeys.
Man, we're 4 spots in, and this video is just already completely terrible. And first off, Shino being number 1, that's valid. I think that's the easiest map in zombies. I think we can all agree that. But dude, having Die Rise and Ascension this fucking low is just insane. His reasoning for Die Rise, I do think Die Rise is one of the easier round 100s. I mean, yeah, it's like one of the fastest round 100s, but he doesn't know that. He just says, yeah, you only shoot one bullet around and it gets you through round. That's not how that works, dude. That's not how the wonder weapon on this map works. You still have to know how to play zombies. You still have to have that high round knowledge. You know, compared to Cold War, any casual can just hop on and get around 100 on Cold War without even knowing what they're doing. But on Die Rise, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know the strat. You have to know how to manage your drop cycle. And even when it comes to Revelations being number 2, are we really sure Revelations is that much easier than the Cold War maps? But man, the one I really have a problem with is Ascension. Why the fuck is Ascension this low? Like, I get it, okay? It's easy as fuck. If we're counting BO3, you got me. Like, it's definitely one of the easiest ones. But he's showing BO1 gameplay here. You have to have knowledge on how to trade on BO1. But for something like Cold War, you literally just sit in a corner and shoot and then buy ammo back. You don't have to trade like you do in BO1. Honestly, I don't think Ascension is really that much easier than both Kino and Moon, which are 2 maps he has way higher on this list. But I mean, seriously, saying that Ascension on BO1 is easier than the Cold War maps is just straight up blasphemous. And honestly, this person's right to free speech needs to be taken away after having this opinion.
Everyone knew these were coming, but here comes the Colder map, starting us off with D-Machine. The map is the easiest of all the Colder maps just because it's super wide open and it has the most broken variant of Reagan of all time. Coming up next is Firebase C, which is only a little bit more difficult than D-Machine. I think it's more difficult because it has a little bit of a tighter layout as well as some more difficult bosses. I'd say that Forsaken is also on par with Firebase C. The only major difference is the high round strategy is a little bit more difficult than Forsaken. Map takes up the number 20th place, being the most difficult map to high round in Cold War.
This is in a very similar boat as Rise and Jock. The only thing I find more difficult about it is since it involves a little bit more movement alongside the Panzer spawns every few rounds. Shadows of Evil takes up the number 25th place.
He has Origins at number 26. He hasn't set a single BO4 map yet. Having Origins this low, which is a map that takes a lot of skill and knowledge to get around 100 on, sure, it's fast. That's the only reason it should be this low. But bro, he hasn't seen a single fucking BO4 map yet. That Origins is actually really fucking difficult. Why is Tag easier than Origins? He hasn't said Tagged or Toten yet. Also, why is SOE here already whenever that's like one of the harder BO3 maps, and he hasn't even named a single BO4 map?
Dead of the Night is only slightly more challenging to high round than Shadows of Evil. Being the first map, Nocturne on Toten tends to lack with any resources to achieve the high rounds. Sector Toten is only slightly harder than Noct when you run the high round strategy because you basically only have to watch one window. Now, Verrückt is a map that is super challenging, but on the World at War version, the 24 zombie limit and the Broken Jug make it for it to be considerably more bearable, which is why it takes the 21st place on this list.
Honestly, I don't even know where to start with this one. Seriously, how the fuck is Verrucht this low? Like, that's easily one of the hardest maps in Zombies. Even if we're not counting the BO1 and BO3 versions, which are easily top 5 hardest maps in Zombies, the World at War version is still really fucking difficult. And to have it one spot next to Tag is just a disservice to the map, honestly. Now, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to tell you guys all the maps up till 11. And it's pretty much just all the BO4 maps, and Buried is like number 16. Somehow it's 10 spots higher than Origins. He has Kino at number 14 and Moon at number 13, which I think these are some of the easier maps, but compared to like BO3, BO4, and Cold War, obviously, like I do think these are a little bit more difficult than those games. ZNS is number 12, which I can kind of see, but with the existence of Gobblegums and AATs, I would never put that over like any BO1 map. But now we're in the top 11, and this is where the video gets really interesting, and just wait till you see what he has at this spot, guys.
Black Ops 3. And once again, Alpha Omega takes up the 11th place, only being slightly harder than Zetsubo. Call of the Dead takes up the 5th place as the hardest map to achieve round 100 because it's literally not possible to do so. The only reason it's easier than the next couple of maps is because it has achieved round 100, but it was only in co-op. Now,
so a map that's literally impossible to reach round 100 on in solo, somehow not as hard as Town. Is that what he's trying to tell me? When Town literally has reached round 100 on solo. This guy just does not know what he's talking about, and I get it, he said co-op, but dude, nobody ever takes co-op into consideration when they rank the VR11. They're always like, oh, but co-op doesn't matter. So, like, this is the complete hypocrisy of the casual community. They never give the VR11 the credit it deserves for being an amazing wonder weapon on co-op. Literally top 10 of all time. Out of all the Zombies, the VR11 is a top 10 wonder weapon in co-op. And even in solo, it's still great. So why is it always at the bottom of these casuals lists? Literally for Call of the Dead, it's impossible to reach on 100 on. And now, whenever it fits the narrative he wants to make, co-op all of a sudden matters. Now, the rest of the video, I'm not going to bore you guys. He just says all the survival maps. You would have guessed it. Yeah, of course, they're the hardest maps to reach on 100 on because they're impossible. Wow, it was so funny. Yeah, this video was completely terrible. And the thing is, like, you shouldn't even be including these maps at the end whenever you can't even reach on 100 on them. Obviously, if it's not possible to reach on 100 on, it's just not even comparable to the other maps. So, but yeah, I spent a lot longer on that video than I hoped to. So let's go to the next video. And in the next video, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Gregory FPS, and he's coming in with the top 10 hardest maps in COD Zombies. And let's see what Mr. Gregory has to say here.
All right, guys, coming in at the number 10 spot is going to be Transit.
Honestly, this is not even that bad of a placement. I'm just glad he didn't put it number 1 like someone else I know.
I believe this is the hardest Zombies map to achieve round 100 on. I don't think there's anything close that can even come to this, and the reason why is because of the wonder weapon. It is goddamn Transit.
Coming in at the number 8 spot is going to be Black Ops 2 Origins. Now, this one is definitely a very, very hard map. Once you get staffs and get set up, it's a lot easier, but I would say like the first 8 rounds are really the most difficult part of this map. The 2-hit before you get Jug is obviously a huge pain in the butt. It's so easy to get double slapped.
Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree with you here, Gregory. I'm sorry, but come on, dude. Origins at number 8 because the staffs are hard to build. That's pretty much what he's saying. Like, no, dude, it's literally just repeating the same stuff. You just follow a fucking YouTube guide, bro. Like, this map is not hard because of setup. And then his other reasoning was because, you know, there's the 2-hit down system, which is literally in every previous map that exists before this. There's a 2-hit down system. I mean, come on, bro. You're better than this, Gregory.
Coming in at the number 7 spot is going to be Black Ops 1 Moon, not to be confused with the Black Ops 3 version of Moon, because Black Ops 3's Moon is way better than Black Ops 1.
Okay, I'm going to start off with giving Greg some props here because he specified which version he's talking about, unlike literally everyone else ever. They never specify which version they're talking about. And I think there's a clear distinction between these different versions of the maps. So I'm glad he specified BO1 there. But man, BO1 Moon is not hard, bro. Like, the strategy is so easy. And the only thing that's hard about it is you have to pay attention to the excavators. That's like literally it, bro. I mean, Yeah, it is just not a hard map. I mean, it's simple as that.
Coming in at the number 6 spot is going to be Shangri-La in Black Ops 1 as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how you have Shangri-La this low. I mean, having it one spot above Moon is just wild. Moon is just such an easy map, and then Shang is like one of the hardest. Them being right next to each other doesn't make any sense to me. But Greg actually just so happens to be the Shangri-La expert, so for him to have it at number 6 makes sense. I mean, he is really good at the map. I'm gonna show you guys a quick clip here.
You're living on the edge today, huh? No, dang it, man.
Woo! My shoes are so squeaky, squeaky!
Trash, 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 trash.
So yeah, as you guys can see, Greg is actually so good at Shangri-La. He doesn't even need the wonder weapon on the map. I mean, seriously, he just, like the absolute legend he is, he just watches it go down in the box and just, man, like he is just so good at the map. He's so confident in his abilities that he doesn't even need the wonder weapon. So yeah, I can actually see how he has a number 6. I mean, he's definitely the Shang master.
Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to be Nuketown on Black Ops 2 Zombies. Nice. Dead. Dang it, man. Coming in at the number 4 spot is going to be 5 from Black Ops 1. This is definitely the hardest Black Ops 1 base map.
Man, I swear everyone has this exact same opinion. I've seen so many of these same videos, and they always put 5 above maps like Verrucht and maps like fucking Shang, and it's just, come on, man. Shang and Verrucht are just so much harder than 5. 2.0 strat, if you ever try 2.0 strat, you'll just see, oh wow, this is like 10 times easier than I thought it was going to be. And you also have the bow to save yourself, so 5 is really not as difficult as people think it is.
Number 3 spot is going to be Verrucht, and I'm kind of categorizing this as World at War and Black Ops 1. In Black Ops 1, you have the Winter's Howl, which is one of the worst wonder weapons of all time, which does not help you at all.
Okay, I'm sorry. I take back what I just said. Yeah, someone actually finally got it right. Verrucht is actually harder than 5.
Coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be OG Nocturne Toten.
Greg, no. Why did you have to do this to me, Greg? You were doing so good. This video was so good until you put this here. Knocked. This is one of the easiest maps, especially on World at War. Man, like, the 24 zombies around thing, this map is one of the easiest maps in zombies. Come on, Greg.
And the last and final honorable mention is going to be Mob of the Dead.
Okay, come on. Is this a joke, dude? I understand. I understand it's an honorable mention, but come on, Greg. This is one of the easiest maps in zombies.
All right, guys, and coming in at the number 1 spot is going to be Bus Depot.
I'm sorry, this is just not it. I mean, this is not the hardest map in zombies. I understand from a casual perspective, like, this is probably one of the harder maps, but dude, this and Knocked, everyone thinks they're so hard just because they don't have perks, but man, the strategies on these maps are not that hard for a reason. Yeah, overall, that was actually a pretty decent video by Greg, I won't lie. I had some minor complaints, other than the top 2. That was a complete joke. My only minor complaints were like flip 5 and Shang, and then maybe move Origins a little bit lower, but I think Origins being on this list is fine. Origins is definitely difficult when you get past like 100, 120, like it is a very difficult map, so I think Origins being on here wasn't the worst thing ever. But man, there was just too many maps he left off that are harder than everything he put on here almost. Also, he didn't have Die Rise, which is wild. I mean, seriously, Die Rise is one of the hardest maps in zombies. Alright, we're getting close to the end of the video now, and as I promised, I'm going to be showing you guys my hardest maps tier list. And here it is on screen right now. You can see Call of the Dead is actually the hardest map in zombies. And I didn't actually include any BO3 or BO4 Cold War maps because those are just all too easy because of the Gobblegums and the ATs and stuff. It creates such an imbalance that it's pretty much impossible to rate alongside these BO1 maps. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or whatever, feel free to make a comment and I'll definitely be open for discussion. What I was basing it most off of was how much room for error you have, and a lot of these maps are much less forgiving than other maps are. And yeah, that was ultimately what decided the tier list. But yeah, for the sake of brevity, I actually decided that I'm going to make a separate video going more in depth on this tier list, or just discussing what the hardest map is in general. It might not even be this tier list. I don't know if I'm going to do that by myself or with others and try to have more of like a debate. I think that would be like really interesting, and it would probably give you guys a lot more information on what the hardest map really is. And yeah, I think discussion is really good, so I might actually try to get some people in on that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. This is going to be the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace.
Can we get some W's in the chat for some Winter's Howl luck? I'm way more concerned about the Winter's Howl than the other gun. I wouldn't mind if I can't get a ray gun. I wouldn't mind just letting him take my third gun and just running 2 guns if possible. If we need to, that wouldn't be the worst thing. Let's jump through here. Where's the box at? Come on, box. Give me what I need, what I really need. Now tell me what I need, what I really need. I need it. I think it's in spawn. Yeah, it's in spawn. So, Jesus, no!
It is goddamn transit.